211 members right now of the largest police force in the United States have now tested positive, with thousands more all calling in sick. Joining us now is Andy Harvey, the chief of police at Ennis, Texas. Good to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. How does a police department cope with a crisis really that affects everybody, and that includes the police officers who can't come in to do their job?
That's true. So it affects everyone, and we take it one day at a time, just like anybody else. But this is a time where we have to plan and make sure that we are ready in case things occur and we get low on staffing and those kinds of things. So we just have to be prepared.
So, what happens in a situation? I mean, obviously, Ennis, Texas, much different than New York City. But what happens if police staffing starts to drop to really extreme low levels because everybody's sick at home? What happens in that situation?
Right. So a few things that any police department would do is first use their staff that normally works behind a desk. It's time to put that uniform on and get to work. And then if they drop extremely low, which we hope we don't even get close to that, we have partnering agencies, just like we have mutual aid agreements with cities that border our towns and our cities. And then we have our state police and we have our federal partners. So it's one of those things where we're going to help each other out. God forbid that we have to get to that level, but as far as right now, everything seems to be going okay. I know NYPD's suffering a little bit just because of the magnitude of that city, but at the end of the day, we're all going to chip in and help each other out.
And we know police officers are in the line of duty and the line of fire every single day. The worry and concern, especially in New York, is what happens when medical professionals decide that their health is too much at risk and they don't want to come into work? Is that a worry and a concern for the police department as well, when police officers are like, it's not worth it for my health to come to work?
Well, again, right, for us, it's a little, it's just like medical practitioners. We have to, for us, we have to take even more responsibility, right? People are depending on us to go to work. And that's not to say we're immune to the virus or just like anybody else, but we have to take additional precautions. It's in our best interest, and that's what we signed up to do. So hopefully, most police officers, and I think we are, doing the best we can to avoid getting it so that we can come to work. Because if we can't come to work, we can't help you. So it is a concern, but it's a concern not just for the police, it's for everybody, but it certainly affects us as well.
What about other crimes? Obviously, police departments are stretched so incredibly thin. What about issues like domestic violence? New York PD is saying that a lot of those cases aren't being reported right now because they just don't have the resources to really go and tackle those issues. So, is this something that is difficult for police to deal with outside of the coronavirus, doing normal everyday
What
police work?
Yeah, understand the concern, but the reality is we are going to respond to anything that is a high priority, and any kind of domestic violence, any kind of violence, and that kind of thing. We're going to respond. If we have to put our entire hazmat suits on, that's what we're going to do. So we're not going to stop policing. We just got to police a little bit differently and place the priority calls and really respond to those. That doesn't change for us. So we're going to go regardless of the situation if somebody needs help.
In a situation like this, do you guys prepare for the absolute worst? Do you do specific training for a lot of police officers to prepare for situations like this?
Well, I'll tell you, this is unique, but we do prepare for it as much as we can. This is an unknown thing that has affected our world, really. So we have contingency plans. In other words, we have in case this happens, we're going to go to this place, or if staffing levels get low, we're going to call on this and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, this is something unique to all of us. So we are going day by day. And I think the most important thing is that we're keeping up with what's going on. We can have an influence on a city, Baker, that I think is really, really powerful in keeping a city calm. So I think we can use our influence in order to lift up a city, especially in times like this. And I think that's important for us to really, really remember and to practice.
Absolutely. Andy Harvey is the
Yeah.
police chief in Ennis, Texas. Sir, thank you so very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.